Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. You walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How explicit do I have to be? I mean, I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.
I'm stuck because I'm just so excited to be here. I was like, which one of these openings do I want to use today? So I'm just going to start with the Bell of Purpose, y'all. You know, we got that new and improved version. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? I got too much stuff on top of it. Let me clear it up. Right? That's a bell. Right? That's a bell, the Bell of Purpose. I'm using it. Oh, hold on. Whew, my arm. I got that for my birthday on the 4th of July. What an upgrade from this little fella, right? So let me tell you something. What that means when I look at that Bell of Purpose, it means that the universe, what I ascribe to be greater than, that's what I ascribe to, greater than. Could be an ant, could be a plant, anything that has a life force and can do something I can't, I refer to as greater than, right? Can I get an amen? There it is. That Bell of Purpose is not just a prop. I need to put my, okay, there. What is that? Okay, I thought I saw something. Oh, that's on the screen. You know, when you hit 59 like I did a few weeks ago, you wake up, you start going, what's that? Every little thing that happens, is that an old person thing coming? You know what I'm saying? Get ready. Get ready. It's coming. I don't care. I don't care. As long as I get her done. I don't care if I got no teeth. Right. Got wrinkles from head to toe. Balls hanging all the way down to the ground. I'm just saying, because you know they always say that about women and their boobs, but guys, come on now, get ready. You know what I'm saying, right? You have to swing them over your shoulder to wash underneath. Can I get an amen? So I'm out here today I'm having a great time. I am. Why? Because the promise has been fulfilled yet again. Because it says that where two or more of us come together, it doesn't say something could, would, should, maybe will happen. That's wonderful. It is a promise that it will. And today is no exception because we're here together, right? Can I get an amen? There it is. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. Help me welcome, as always, at this point of the show, my sidekick. She's been here for 6 years with me. This is my girl, my version of Ed McMahon. This is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Put some hearts on the screen for my girl. So, real quick, let me tell you some business real quick, and we're going to get TODD Special in here because he's just so, isn't that special? I bet he heard that so many times. It's just sickening. You know, I'm going to come up with a new one, though, before it's over. Anyway, headed to Las Vegas next month in August, a few weeks from now, to the Star Trek convention. I'm going to let that sink in. Right. I would have never in a million years thought that I'd be presenting at the Star Trek convention, but thank you, Jesus. I am going, and I'm going to drop it like it's hot. You best believe it. Thank you to Dan Deavy and the group known as the nonprofit Gaze in Space. I'm going to be doing a couple things. On Thursday night, which is the 12th, I'm going to host a VIP party with people from the show, Deep Space Nine, the television series, the movies, and just regular people. You, if you want to join us, I can make that happen. Tune in tomorrow. Dan Deavy's actually my guest. We're going to tell you how we can help you if you help us get 50% off everything Star Trek convention related. If you want to meet us in Vegas next month, tune in tomorrow. We're going to make it easy peasy for all of you. Okay, let me get an amen on that one. Next thing is update on my garden. Okay, it looked all cute when I first did it. Remember, you guys? But guess what? Follow the directions. Follow the directions on the packages and stuff. I don't know what it's going to take for me to learn. My garden is so packed, I got to go out there and thin it. Everything's everywhere, which impedes the growth process. Duh, Lauren. And my front yard looks like it has the mange because I didn't wait on the lawn care people and tried to fertilize it. Now, not kidding you. It looks like it has that Michael Jackson disease, you know, with all the spots and stuff on it. So follow the directions. I need to learn how to do better. I want to say thank you and a shout out this morning to our wonderful friends at Heart of Hollywood magazine. Yes, indeed, said the needy. We are not, that's the inside back cover, but they have moved us to the very back cover, and we'll be there every issue for the next 2 years. Thank you, Giovanna Salas, the owner and brainchild of Heart of Hollywood Motion Pictures, and also this beautiful magazine you see before you, the Heart of Hollywood magazine. Now, one more thing, if you're in the Chicagoland area, mark your calendars. Come on out and join songstress Teresa Griffin. Y'all know who she is. You've seen her all over the place. She's been a background singer for Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, and she and a bunch of her celebrity friends, and me too, a nobody, will be there for her 15th annual pep rally. We'll be giving away hundreds of laptops to Chicago graduates headed off to college and graduate school. So if you're in the area, it's a car concert. So it's outside. You get to set up your tables in between the cars and whatnot and have yourself some good drink and food and just a good time fellowshipping and celebrating our young people. And you know how I love me some young people, right? So be there if you can. Okay. What is the old saying? Be there or be square. And also this morning, again, thank you to Shift Magazine. In the comments is a link where you can go and look at this. Oh, I forgot I was on. No, I didn't. You can go and read the entire article that's inside, not just the one about me, but all these great topics you see on the cover. And I'm going to show you something. I have to thank you for them during the commercial break. We'll do that. But let's get started. Today, I'm really excited. I have a guest here who he doesn't pull any punches. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And, you know, when I first heard TODD Special speak, it was I saw a video. And it was nothing compared to when I experienced him in the flesh. What a dynamic guy. Like I said, doesn't pull any punches. And the reason I'm so excited that he's here is because he has a new show, first of all. He's a master of sales. If you are doing anything in your brand or your life where you need to sell, you need to listen up today and get in touch with Todd if you haven't already. You know, so many people are misguided, misled, duped, shit on, all that kind of stuff, all in the name of, I'm here to help you be a better person. as my grandmother would say, God rest her soul, bullshit Eva. And we still don't know who Eva is. I must have been somebody that shit on her back in the days. But anyway, bullshit Eva. I'm just saying there are so many people that you all know are out there. Did we learn nothing from Jim and Tammy Faye Baker? Okay. So anyway, Todd's new show, he's going to tell you all about it. You're going to want to listen up on this one. So he's here today. And if you don't know him, you need to. He is a master of sales. He's a coach. He's a prolific speaker. He's an author and now a television show co-host. So we're going to get him in here. I say, what about right now? He's been here before, but not since we've been on the E360 network. So you know what we do. Quit playing. Put your hearts on the screen. Put your hearts into this today, this conversation, and let's do it. Let's do what we always do, okay? Let's pour into each other and allow ourselves to be poured into. Can I get an amen? There we go. Okay, here we go. He's on his way in, so you guys stand up, do what you need to do. Show some love for Todd Special. Here he comes. Well, good morning.
Well, good morning. Glad to be here.
How are you?
I couldn't be better. Every day above ground is a good day, my dad used to say. So.
Oh, your dad used to say that? I thought Danny Torres came up with that. He uses it all the time. Well.
Name it, but yeah, I don't know who started it, but it definitely.
But it's the truth. It is. Todd, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, things that I may have missed, where you're at in the world, about your gorgeous family, and what you're doing today to change the world.
Yeah. So, my show that, I heard you say earlier, Gut Check Uncut, has just released, shot to the top of the charts. Thank God. It went really well. It's been a 2-year in the making gig. You know what I mean? And the Gut Check Uncut podcast, and as well as now the show itself, has really touched lives. And that's what I want to do. But I wanted to it was really created to expose the people that are robbing people in the motivational speaking, coaching, sales world. You go to an event and they got a guy at the back of the building says, "Hey, Lauren, and we'll tell a story about that. But for $25,000, I'll make you the richest person in the world." And then you never hear back from him, or they offer you an app online that they create for you. You never hear back from them. So, when I first got into the speaking and coaching world, I got a lot of that. I was on stage in LA. And, I got a lot of people that were approaching me and saying, "Hey, we can make you a millionaire," and all this other bullshit. And I realized very quickly that I was from the streets. So for me, my first guess was, "Hey, what's the catch?" And I found out very quickly there was a lot of people with a lot of catches. So I got Gut Check Uncut that's released, is doing really, really well. I do obviously personal coaching as well. I do sales and leadership coaching. Now we've moved to the corporate level. We go into organizations with my company and we teach you leadership, and we teach you leadership from the ground up. And the best part about this is that we get to watch people at a very young age choose between what we do, Lauren, in coaching and teaching people how to live that life, financial literacy, sales skills, people skills that they don't really teach in college. So now kids are able to choose between coaches and educators or college. Now, which one's better? That's an opinion. That's okay. But at least they have another platform now. We can learn about sales and financial literacy and all that stuff, which they don't really do in school. So that's, I think that's personally touching lives and helping people. And got another book coming out, my third book, called Make Sales Great Again. Shocker, right? Mastering the Art of Sales. But it's the no bullshit kind of book that just gets to the heart of why we need to make sales great again, because there's too many people that are just lying to people to sell their products or service. And I'm making sure people understand how to sell the right way with integrity and honesty.
I'm glad you're here for that, because two things. I'm going to just drop them both. The sales piece, I think it's just as intimidating for a lot of people as public speaking because of rejection. Because I remember when I was early in my, I say 20s, I had a job telemarketing, selling. And it was okay for about 8 minutes until that first person hung up on me. And then I called her ass back and said, "Oh, you're going to hang up on people? You're going to hit people with trash cans? Okay, guess what? Click." And then I didn't know she could call in and get somebody else and tell on me. So I think before noon that day I was fired. So cause I just couldn't take
the mistake that company ever made.
Well, the thing was, it was the if I would have known that I should take the script and tweak it, you know, I mean, the product was good, but the way they did it, I don't know, it just felt wrong. And so nobody was buying it because the truth has a ring to it. And when a right eyebrow of suspicion, there it is. Was that a senior moment? I rebuke you. Get out of here. So anyway, but you know, people are suspicious naturally when it comes to giving up their hard-earned money, and as they should be. Again, did we learn nothing from Jim and Tammy Faye Baker? But I want you to talk. Here's another reason I'm really glad you're here, because there are those of us who don't ascribe to that do everything within our power to stay within those guidelines, those perimeters of integrity. However, sometimes people follow us into the lion's den. That happened with me early in this career out in San Diego with someone who will remain nameless, too stressed to be blessed or too blessed to be stressed, whatever. I'm gonna just throw that out there. And the woman lost about $15,000, went bankrupt, lost her kids, got a divorce, on and on and on. And when I approached the person about it, they're like, I already spent that money. I spent that on my next event, blah, 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 and didn't give a shit. Seriously. And I couldn't just go to bed, Todd, and pretend like, even though, you know, I didn't know he was doing that, but she came there because I invited everyone to come. So I felt this sense of responsibility, and I still live with that today. So I want to talk about the responsibility of where you take your followers to. So it's like this, you know, if you haven't ridden in the car for like 15, 20 hours with that person, you know, or would be willing to, then you don't need to take anybody else in there because you don't know everything you need to know. Can I get an amen? But real quick, you guys, here's a little peekaboo at Gut Check Uncut.
This is the realest show out.
You did the opposite of what I think most people do. Sometimes it can be kind of scary to just put yourself out there.
That's real. That's raw. That's exactly what we're looking for. We look forward to connecting with you guys on all of our social media platforms. The way to support us is to like and comment on all your favorite episodes. And please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications for the next Gut Check Uncut.
Well, all righty then. There it is. Who's your co-host?
So Brandon has been a family friend of my wife's since he was born. He actually grew up in the house right next door to my wife. True story. Okay. And he became friends with her younger brother. And then Brandon was in all sorts of different businesses. He's just an extraordinary soul, a really great person, and always does the right thing. And he was actually selling software in Kansas City when I was in timeshare many, many moons ago. And I convinced him to come and work with me. And we just started scaling teams together. And as I was going to release Gut Check, you know, I thought about it because we have really good natural banter, and I'm thinking to myself, man, this would be great. Let me just do a couple test shows with Brandon and see how he does. And he knocked it out of the ballpark. So I brought Brandon on. He's my co-host. He's a stud. He's a great dude. We call him the accountant because he looks like a dorky accountant, and I look like the tattooed idiot, right? So, but it's a good fit, and he's a very intelligent dude. So we're very honored to have him on.
He looks pretty young too.
He is young. Yeah, he's in his early 30s, and you know, he's just a good guy, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The nice thing about Brandon and our symmetry is that we've always led from a very similar standpoint. We've done some consulting work together. I brought him on to make sales great again to help him kind of scale as well. I've kind of been a mentor for him, and then he's just kind of morphed into the partnership, right? Because I can't do everything. I'm not good at everything. So recognizing what I'm good at, staying in my own lane, having Brandon do what he's good at, which is what I'm not, it's just a perfect fit for a partner in a company and a co-host.
Okay, sounds great. Congratulations for that one. So tell us, I saw in the promo there, I'm assuming those were some of your guests.
Yes, yeah. We've had Tom Ferry, Evan Carmichael, Ryan Blair, Matt Monero, Judge Graham, Danelle Delgado, Jason Cisneros. We've had, who else on there? We've had Flip Rodriguez, who's 11-time, Ninja Warrior champion. We've had Tommy Vex, who had 400 million views for his cover of Zombie. We've had some extraordinary guests. To be honest with you, Lauren, I didn't know they'd say yes, and they did. So I'm very blessed.
So the first person you named, was it Tom Ferry?
Tom Ferry, yep.
So you've had a Ferry on there, and No, but actually, you know, they all said yes, but some of us haven't had the chance to say yes because we've never been asked. So guess what? Bye-bye. Now, you think he's going to ask me now? Okay, you want to rethink that? Okay. So, but I know I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be nice about it. Hold on. I hate when people call when you're on the show. Hold on. Hello? I'm about to get there. Don't worry about it. I told you. Hold on. Hold on. This person actually is calling because of you. Thugetta, girl, I'm gonna get there. I'm about to ask. Thugetta wants to know. I'm gonna put your face on the screen. Okay. Thugetta wants to know how come we didn't see any people of color and we didn't see any gay people that we know of in that promo. Thugetta, girl, relax. She's gonna say explain or she's gonna have to come holler at you. So what's the deal on that one?
The good news is we have both, and it's funny because when we drop the first 10 episodes, you know, the way that you have to shoot to the top of the charts is you have to drop 10 episodes at once, and there's an algorithm that goes along with it. Of course, with marketing helps us kind of skyrocket. So we chose the top 10, and it was the first 10 that came on board. We have another 17 guests that are already recorded, and we're dropping one per week. So yes, we have everyone on there of every different race, color, gender. We don't care. We would love everybody, brother. So we're definitely glad to have you on.
Oh, you threw that in at the last second.
You are. I'm in sales.
I had to come. So, okay. So I see how it is. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what?
You know, Lauren, it's funny you say that because, you know, I was actually complimenting you to my wife before you show because the show has the advertising, and you were talking about the lady that you're doing what's her name, Terry or
Teresa Griffin.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm just a nobody. First of all, that's not true because when I was at I heard you sing, and you have an extraordinary voice. I was telling him like, you got to hear Lauren. Like he got on stage, I didn't know you sang that well. It was extraordinary. So anybody watching this needs to know if they haven't heard you. I'm sure you've done it many times in Bathrobe Moments, but if you've never done a full song and you've never seen Lauren Harris in person singing, you need to.
Well, I appreciate that, and you know, but I don't like talking about myself. I got in my hand. It just happened to be laying here, but Teresa Griffin, great. You know, I invited her on for Celebrity Week last year, and everybody said she don't know you. She ain't gonna answer. We're best of friends now. It's just, you know, great people just are you can't assume, you know, just because you never know until you go. That's how I feel about it. But tell everybody, where can they catch the show? What days, what times, and is there an app? I think I saw something about an app.
Well, no, we're on 19 different podcast platforms. We're dropping all the videos for the show on YouTube a week from Wednesday. But you can go on any podcast platform, anyone. You know, obviously the main ones are iTunes, Spotify. You know, you can go to Google Podcasts, but it's on all 19 different podcast platforms. I think there's every one that they offer. And then we are dropping all of the videos for the show live on YouTube as well, which is pretty cool. So that's going to be week Wednesday. But yeah, and then if you want to learn more about the show and you want to see some of the guests that are on there, go to gutcheckuncut.com. Okay. It's our website for the show. It'll actually just give you some links directly to some of the podcasts there if you want. Tells you a little bit about our social media and then gives you a little bit of an idea of who Brandon and I are. So,
okay. Now, what can people expect? Because I remember back in the day, a couple of years ago, when you were at Next Impactor, or at the Impact, you know, and we were talking about this very thing, and you were saying how you were going to expose people. Now, isn't that a tough thing to do because of what is it? Not kind of a liability, but you know, you got to be careful how you do it because people can sue you for you know, this and the other. So how do you do it? How do you let people know that's the wolf in sheep's clothing? Stay away without actually naming them, or do you?
So here's the deal with Gut Check Uncut. That was the original idea. And then I spent a lot of money with attorneys because you're right. We found out that, you know, based on how you speak,
slander,
absolutely, defamation of character, etc.
If it's true, and they'll try it. Right.
It's true. It's very unfortunate because it's basically, to me, aiding and abetting. You know, it's allowing them to do it. The law is basically saying, hey, listen, You can't put someone's voice out there because they can sue your ass off. And, you know, if I didn't have anything to lose and wasn't a single income provider of a family of 5, you know, maybe a different ball game. I'd be smashing all of them. But, you know, the truth is there's a lot of people out there taking advantage of people. So we shifted. We went from thinking, well, let's call all these people out to let's get the best names and the people that are doing right in the world and bring them on the show. And let's talk about it organically. And that's what it did. So the show really just, we kind of bring up things. Have you ever dealt with somebody that's lied in sales? You ever dealt with somebody that's been in a coaching event that's robbed somebody? And we let the guests kind of organically talk about it. We tell them, say, listen, you can say first names, you can say last. I don't care what you do. That's on you, okay? But we need you to know that for your protection, obviously that's totally on you. But you'd be surprised how many people just don't give a shit. And now, you know me, Lauren. I know a lot of people don't, but I'll tell you this. I definitely don't pull any punches. You know, I call it like it is, you know, and I want people to know the truth because the first event, the big event that I ever spoke at was in 2017 in LA. And I called a lot of people out on stage, and they were either going to love me or hate me. And then right after that, you know, a guy comes up to me and says he wants to offer me, I'll make you a millionaire and you're the best speaker. And I've heard this and I've seen guys like you and they just haven't had the right talent and coaches and blah, blah, blah. Let me get you, you know, let's get you signed up. But when I tell you the price, don't worry about it. It's only 125 grand. You know me, sales guy. I kind of stepped back and I said, hey, listen, dude, I was like, so you're sure no matter what that I'm going to make millions of dollars? He says, yes. I go, how about this then?
Oh,
me paying you 125,000. I'll give you a check for 10,000 right now. And then here's what you do. You take 20% of all of my millions of dollars. So, hey, even if it's only $1 million, you made $210,000. That's $60,000 more than you're gonna make now. How you feel about that?
mm-hmm.
And he stopped me and goes, that's not how it works. And I go, well, that's how it works for me. So I start walking away. Guy grabs my arm. Obviously, I turn around and I said, hey, first of all, I'm from the streets. You don't grab my arm from behind me, number one.
No hands on me. Right.
2, you know, I said, he goes, well, let me just explain. Give me a chance of what I tell you. What I only take 5 people. I have 1 spot left. Shocker, right? You only had 1 spot left, right? So I said, he says, let me just explain what I can do. I said, I'll give you one more shot. I said, I'll give you a check for 5,000 and I'll give you 50% of everything that I make if you know that I'm going to make millions of dollars. Because at that time, Lauren, I didn't really have a lot, right? So I'm there and I'm thinking to myself, 50% of $5 million is a lot more than 100% of zero, right? So I basically told him, so I'll give you 50% of everything that I make, all the millions of dollars, because you said I'm guaranteed you're going to make me millions, right? He says, yeah. And I go, well, then you'd be crazy not to do that. It's either 125,000 or it's millions of dollars getting 50%. Which would you choose? And he goes, oh, that's not how it works. And I stop and I go, sir, listen, I want to thank you. And he goes, thanking me for what? I said, because I'm going to say yes to everybody you said no to. And I appreciate the fact that you're just trying to take people's money when I'm just trying to change people's lives.
See.
And I walked away. And that's it. And that's my premise for the show the entire time.
Well, I absolutely love it. And because I'm going to tell you something else, you guys out there, that you may think will not happen. But I'm telling you because I'm living with it. That example I gave a little bit ago about the woman who lost 15 grand, you know, you don't know just how deeply that's still inside I have it. It's holding on. I'm holding on to it at a cellular level. Seriously. And I didn't really realize that until last week. And you remember, because I called you. I called you. God, I called you. Yeah, I was at a mastermind that was here local, and I had been to it the month before, but it was in a restaurant. It was all noisy. People were screaming, trying to talk to each other. And I said, well, you know, I have a place. You know, my niece has a acupuncture clinic, and she has a huge conference room. She already told me I could use it for my own mastermind. And so I said, well, mine's not up and running yet, still just online. Why don't I gift you that? We were there 5 minutes. And I saw the same handouts, you know, and then I was like, wait a minute. And then something just didn't feel right. And then it started. And I was like, the people kept, the girls there, it was all girls, first of all, 2 guys were running, all girls. I'm, you know, the people there knew more than the guy. He was giving out stats and stuff about social media numbers and stuff and algorithms and stuff. They go, no, actually that changed during COVID. Oh, no, it's not like that anymore. I was like, well, damn, you need to be up there, right? So when I would start saying things about, because he was just saying something, I was praying, Jesus, Come, Jesus, come now. Come, Jesus, and pick me up. Put me in your arms, right? Because I know me. And sure as shit, he just kept going. And plus, I knew when I'd say something, he wouldn't even acknowledge it. He just hurry up and get on to back to his thing, right? So when it was all said, and I came out and called you, because I told him right out in the road, I said, you know what? I think I need to step out of here for a minute. I just said it out loud. And I went outside and I called you and I was like, Todd, I'm about to grab this guy up. Talk me down. Because I was like, even though it's his thing and I invited him, I still am responsible. Now they can hear his bullshit clearer. I probably should have left him in the noisy place. And I'm like, oh shit. No. So I go in, long story short, at the end, we leave and he ain't said, thank you, kiss my ass, bye, nothing. So I called him over to the dumpster, over by the dumpster, because there's a bunch of trees and stuff that can't nobody see us getting in their cars. I said, how you just gonna leave that? He's like, I'm out of here. You tried to take over. I said, you know what? Anyway, ended up having to put him off the property. And the thing that I said, how did this happen? How did I not see this? So I went back to the very first post that caught my eye. And you know what caught my eye, how I got tricked? Here it is. Are you looking for a mastermind, 100% no BS, 100% straight up in this, not done all the things that he was doing? He put that out there like, come on, come closer. Ooh, grandmama, what big ass feet you got. Ooh, that's what I should have been saying, but even I missed it. So it's not that easy. When they good at lying, they good at lying. But we're supposed to know that the truth has a ring to it. So I want you to talk about what are some of the things that should ring that fire bell, like, uh-oh, take a deeper look, back off a little bit beforehand. Yeah. What are some of the things that, we can look at that can say, that don't sound right?
Yeah, so unfortunately, like you said, it's hard for telltale signs to be that available, right? Like you have to kind of do a vetting process. I would tell people that if you're ever going to a mass look, unfortunately in today's world, especially when COVID hit, the coaching industry just like quadrupled, right? People are like, well, shit, I got to be at home, so fuck it, I'll just be a coach. You know what I mean? And then, I'm good at, sending emails. So I'll send people, I'll make up some bullshit on how to send an email. And it sounds great. And yes, not anybody can be a coach, but yes, everybody can offer to be one. So it's hard to really look online. So for me, I always tell people, do a massive vetting process, man. I mean, if you're going to pay someone to do something, you've got to take the time to vet. And if you don't vet, okay, it's your own fault. Like when you called me and you go, hey, listen, now we're in the coaching world. Now, like you, Lauren, I've been to a lot of masterminds and events just to gather information and learn, right? If
that's what I was there for. Mm-hmm.
I'll go gather information and I'll learn. And like I told you on there, I said, when you called me, which is why everybody loves you and I love you too, is like you're very real, right? So when you called me, you were like, Todd, I'm going to go off. I was like, and you're right, I did have to talk. I was like, Lauren, hey, listen, you know what I would do? I would go in there and learn everything that you shouldn't do, right? In a mastermind or event like that.
Right.
Listen to bullshit. So you know that if you say it, you sound just like that fucking idiot that's doing it, right? So for me, I look at it and I just say, there's not really a telltale way. And unfortunately there isn't. Now, can you look at some people and think they're full of shit? You can judge them, but then there's some people that look like they're full of shit that are actually great coaches. So I tell people it's a vetting process for me. I have to do vetting process, but I'll tell you this. One of the most important things when you're choosing someone to work with, a coach, when you're buying a program, no matter anything, A is a vetting process. B, you have to determine, it's almost like when they call you up, they're interviewing you, and you should be interviewing them. Okay, remember, you're paying them. Now, yes, they may be that big brand name. I mean, I can tell you some people that have reached out, right? And they go, hey, Todd, and these are big names, right, in the business, and they're great people, but they've reached out and they're pitching me. And I'm just sitting, I'm like, guys, listen, I'm the sales guy. Like, I don't need to be pitched. I know who you are. I've done like, if I want to work with Lauren, I know what Lauren's good at. Lauren doesn't need to pitch me because I get to say, Lauren, I'm going to work with you because I know what you're good at. That's what I do, right? But they're pitching me, and then I start interviewing them. They said, whoa, wait a second. Well, I'm not, you're not supposed to interview me. I said, bullshit. I'm paying you. You know what I mean? Like if I'm like $5 or $5,000, you're going to pass an interview process with me. I'm no name Todd Special. 2017, dad passes away. Get on stage, you start making a somewhat name for myself, and people are coming to me, and I tell them every time. I said, listen. This ain't a selling process. This is me selling myself and whether I should do business with you or not. So unfortunately, just like everything else, it takes time and it takes pain. Did I get screwed over? Absolutely. Has Lauren gotten screwed over? If you don't get screwed over, you're not going to learn. But if you know good people in that coaching world, or you do a good vetting process, you have to take time before you say yes. Don't cut checks. Don't pay people up front until you get a really, really, really good kind of opinion on who they are, and you can vet that their work makes sense. For instance, we'll talk about David Meltzer for a minute. David Meltzer is an extraordinary human being, okay? Danelle Delgado, she's my mentor. She's an unbelievable human being. And when you look at people like these types of people, right, you put them in a position to say, they're like, I'm ready to help you. They provide massive amounts of value up front, and they do it for nothing. And they go, because I want you to get a piece and a taste of who I am as a person. Now, if I don't provide that value, don't pay me. Those are the people. They're saying, I'll provide the value first. We'll work on a payment schedule that you feel comfortable when you receive the value. You can pay me, okay? But I do need to pay for my services, so we'll make a schedule so it's an equal playing field, and that's what happens. So it really makes a lot of sense if you deal with the right coaches. But people know people, Lauren. I mean, hell, we were at the Next Impact Room, and a lot of amazing people. That was an unbelievable, extraordinary thing I was able to be a part of, and I thank you for that. But to see the good people in that building was great. It was almost like you handpicked the people, which I know you did, but it's almost like you handpicked the people and the guests that were there to be there because they were all good people. You didn't hear
all good people. Law of attraction.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I always say this. When I make a decision, especially early in this career, I didn't know who was who. Seriously, I'm sitting at speaker dinners next to Sharon Lecter, and they're like, how come you didn't talk to Sharon? I was like, who was that? I didn't know, because I don't have time to drop names or pick them up. I ain't got time. You see what I'm saying? So, but where it did, I always talk about checking the front row seats of your life. Who's sitting there? Because every time I was going to make a decision that was going to cost me, I don't care if it was a quarter, I'm call somebody and get a referral. Here's what I need, not what I want, big difference, but what I need. Any suggestions with people that you trust? Because if you can't find somebody that leads you to the right thing, you ain't ready for the right thing because you haven't attracted it. It's like people who are trying to find Mr. or Miss Right. You're never going to find them until you work on becoming Mr. or Miss Right. You can't feed anybody else, but you haven't eaten yourself. Okay. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, I actually have the name of someone who said, well, I don't know if it's true or not. That's why I brought it up. I'm gonna bring it out so you can straighten it up. Where they said to me, "Oh, Todd Special's gonna be on your show." I don't want to hear he better not put my name in his mouth again. So anyway, I screenshot it and I'm gonna put it up on the screen when we come back, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. You guys, we'll be back in just 1 minute. Don't you go anywhere.
Cutting the power lines, we're done talking about it. A spark turns into fire, and we're not sorry about it. If you're not sleeping tight, you know we're onto something. You hear the streets are crying, ocean turns into fire. Take it to the streets, hit control of the lead. Take it to the streets, hit control of the lead. Warnings been spread wide, you can't do none to stop it. Posing is bad.
All right. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm Lauren Michaels Harrison. Before we get our guest back in here, Mr. Todd Special. Isn't that special? I can't help saying that. It's so fun. So really quickly, you guys, listen, if you want to make a difference in your life, start by making yourself better. Look for an E and an R. Take great to greater, bright to brighter, smart to smarter, nice to nicer. How do you do it? Healthy to healthier. And if you, like I said the other day, if you dropped out and got a GED, take good to gooder. That's right. Whatever you got to do. But for me, one of the things that I love to add to my daily regimen is this V8 60 calories. That's it. 2 full servings of vegetables in every single can. And it's from all natural vegetables. Easy to find. Go down the juice aisle. That's a weird thing because in my grocery it's right next to the Kool-Aid boxes. Don't go for those. Go for this. V8. Don't do what millions of people do every day. Go, oops, I could have had a V8. Be proactive. Get it in. Get it in. You'll be glad you did. V8. Get yours today. Wait a minute. It's not, I don't get paid if I don't drink it. Tastes just like candy. Remember that one? So anyway, let's get our guests back in here because I got something to throw up on the screen. I got that screenshot about this person who said, tell Todd next time my name comes out of his mouth, it's going to be trouble. There he is. Say it to his face. There he is. Say it to his face.
I was already texting him in the background.
I saw your faces in the green one. I said, and they're talking to each other.
It doesn't matter what show Todd's on or whatever, because I follow him around like a groupie, I always have to text him while he's doing it. So,
last time I was on StreamYard, my name was still Jason's daddy, and I had to change it back to Todd Special for us.
That's so funny. I've done that to people too, that like my coaching clients, when they're on a show, I'll be texting, you have a booger in your left nostril, right? And you see them so that they can stand up under pressure. And it's so funny or anything, So anyway, I wanted Jason to come in too, because we all travel different places and some of the roads are the same. But this thing about people just flipping this over, pulling the masks off, so to speak. And I thought Jason would be a great person because, real quick, while these two are chopping it up, all of you out there, if you have ever lost money, been duped, been robbed, shit on, mugged in the name of, becoming a better person, come to here and we'll make you a better person. How much did you lose? Drop it in. Sherry McQueen, I know you're out there. Add it all up for us. I want a total just from us here at the end of the show. Drop it in. Be honest. How much have you lost because somebody lied to you? So, Todd, you two kick it. I'm going to let you guys talk.
I wanted to say something. It was funny when Jason was texting me because we were talking about, how to, vet someone. When I first was in LA, again, I think Jason had to help me get into the door of a gala event after I spoke at a dinner. I show him a speaker pass. I go, no, that was yesterday. You can't get in, right? Jason helped me get in the door. Nobody knew who I was. Right. So I'm just like, oh shit. And then I'm sitting next to all these important people. And it was funny because Jason heard me speak. And I always say this to Jason because, anybody that knows Jason knows he's an extraordinary human as well. But he says to me, when I heard you speak, half the room, because I called a lot of people out, standing the other half like, fuck this guy or whatever. Jason goes, he was standing and applauding when I got done speaking. And he says, man, you did amazing, but you were only at 40%. And that's one thing that stuck in my mind for my entire life. A guy like Jason, very successful, obviously extraordinary company. And he says, that was you at only 40%. I can't wait to see you at 100, right? There was no pitch. There was no come work me. There was no bullshit. Okay. But the best thing about Jason, which I was going to talk about towards the end of this, and you talk about people and how to vet, you asked me how you can vet properly. Jason, when Brandon and I were working, I was in timeshare business for a lot of years, flew to Orlando, right? All he did was make us pay to fly him there. He's like, hey, let's go to Orlando, bring me there. I'll take my Joe Callow, who runs Anton J, with him. Mm-hmm. We're going to help kind of build this company with you, right? Unfortunately, we got stopped through conflict of interest and some legal shit where I was at a company at the time. But Jason doesn't do shit for anything less than thousands of dollars, as we know, and he's well worth it. I didn't have the money. Through a relationship that we created, Jason goes, no, dude, just get my flight and my hotel down there, and we'll work it out. That to me is how you add value. So the next time, it's like when you want to pour money into someone and they're giving you that type of value, that's what I was telling Jason. You know, like you can't expect people to do anything for nothing, but you got to provide value. That's why a lot of good coaches will give so much free content. Jason had given away a spot to tons of people, right? And he says, hey, I'll give it away, give you guys massive value. And now those people become clients. That's providing value and then getting a good coach or a mentor or someone like Jason who's owned and bought several companies and sold them to get them to work for you. So when we were in LA, I wanted to say Jason was there when I got approached by that guy asking me for $125K, all this other bullshit. But I was shocked that in that event, there was only a handful of people that were good people. Everybody else is there just to fucking rob you. You know what I mean? Just this is. And it's sad. And that's what got me fired up.
Absolutely. And I got one real quick. Then, Jason, I want you to talk about Todd's point and the one I'm about to make. I'll never forget it. This was like I think the beginning of the second year for me. And, you know, the thing about when people are hungry, they'll eat anything. But when people are starving, they'll eat everything. And I was starving. Sally Struthers was sat next to me every place I went. Feed little Lauren for just $2 a day. Right. I had flies lighting on my eyes. That's how hungry and starving I was. So, Jason, I told him about an opportunity. Jason, you remember something out in LA, big gala, big. Stars, everything. I hadn't been there, you know, and I had been invited by somebody who was a little bit shady in certain ways. And Jason called me up and said, listen, I ain't got nothing against you and who you see and deal with that. But if you end up out there on that stage, and I'm going to just plug your ears, or if you have kids, get them out of the room. He said, because I'm going to give it to you the way he gave it to me. If you do this with this person, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to be done fucking with you. And I'm like, at first, I'm like, ain't nobody scared of you, right? But then I started thinking about it because there were rumors that had not even made it to me because I wasn't in the loop. But then if I just sat back and waited, you know, I was a little sad when I saw the people that were out there posting in their tuxes and this and the other, taking pictures with John Travolta and all this stuff. But then down the road, sure enough, there it was. And here's what I learned from that, Jason. You know, you can't even afford to ride in the elevator where those people have been because let's pretend they're wet labradoodles. You ain't got to be in there with the actual wet labradoodle to come out of that joint smelling like a wet labradoodle. Every place you go, everybody goes, who smell like a wet dog up in here? It's you because you've been going every place you're not supposed to go. So, Jason, anyway, you remember that. Talk about what made you do what you did with Todd and what made you do what you did with me.
Yeah,
responsibility.
You know, Todd nailed it with one word, which is relationship, right? And relationship, people don't they put so much stock. Look, I know a lot of us. I mean, I've wasted a lot of money going to places that I shouldn't, and there's a learning process behind it. But there's also value in what your mentors tell you and the people that are trying to support you tell you. There's value in that. And if somebody, you know, Lauren and Todd, if you guys are feeding into people constantly and you see them, you know, basically kicking themselves in their own balls all the time, you just go, at some point in time, you go, look, I love you, but I can't want your success more than you do. Right. It's one of those instances. And one of the jobs of a leader, and you guys both know this, is to tell the truth. And truth is not rewarded in today's environment at a super high level by anybody other than the people that should be in your life, right? And those people that should be in your life is a much smaller group of people than, you know, the people that say things because they want people's love and they want people's attention and they want to say what's right and be on the right side of every virtue signaling statement that's out there. So I don't blame people for learning their own lessons along the way. It's part of the process. But when it comes down to it, anybody who's selling you an easy pill is lying to you, right? That easy pill causes cancer. It causes cancer in your bank account. It causes cancer in your relationships, causes cancer in your potential. And by the way, the biggest cancer that it creates is the one of lost time, right? Lost time, wasted time that you cannot get back unless you change it, modify the behavior and the belief system, that then you don't make that same mistake again. And the challenge that I see is people are going easy pill to easy pill to easy pill to easy pill, being pissed off that the last easy pill didn't work when an easy pill never works. You have to feel the pain. You have to, and we live in an environment and a culture that says everything is owed to us and it's supposed to be easy. And by the way, if I can't do it myself, then I have to find some checklist of insufficiencies in myself to be valued at a way that I'm going to be given something for free. And there's no such thing, right? It might feel good for a minute to have somebody tell you, oh, poor baby, this is the thing that's wrong with you. It might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't pay off long-term, right? You're going to pay two prices: the price of regret because you didn't do the right shit to get where you're going, or the price of discipline. And
absolutely.
Let
me ask you both this question. I want you both to respond to this. Do you feel there's a difference? Because I know it made a big difference in my life. You helped me get there with that. That's why when it came to Impactor and Power of We, all the people there were, like Todd said, people that were really chosen and chosen return. Now, there's a difference between networking and working the net. We're told to be fishers of men. Okay, so that's not about trading business cards and clinking cocktails. It's about being of service. My greatest blessings, let me just put it this way, have never, ever, ever, never been attached to a routing number or a credit card. Never. That was just a perk. That was a frosting. But how do you guys feel about people that don't know the difference between, I'm popular, I have a bunch of friends, and circle of influence? That's when it changed for me. Circle of influence, because that's who I allow in. I invite them in where integrity, insight, intellect, all the IN words are there, because you can't just let any old body up in there, right? It's through invitation. So talk about circle of influence. And a lot of people feel like because of views and stuff, if the world doesn't come, if everybody doesn't like this picture, then I'm not popular. Who cares? Let's talk about circle of influence. Who wants to go first?
I'm going to just kind of chime in. Jay and I had a conversation just a few days ago about guests that were coming on my show, and people that had been kind of reached out to. Jason, reached out to a couple of guys that he knew. I'd had some other people reach out to some people that I knew or that they knew to be on the show. These are some pretty high level people now on social media. I think we define high level a little differently. See, I define high level as someone like you or Jason, someone like you or Jason that basically says, provides value to people. And one thing, we talk about money, it's not been attached to a debit card or bank account. One thing I learned from Jason, you can help a lot more people with money than you can without it, right? So like having that type of money, you can change people's lives, right? And you can provide and be on your own time. It's funny, Jay just goes, he always says, I do what I want. And it's funny when people say that things cocky, arrogant. No, it's amazing. He's created this life. And what he wants and what he does is actually help people. He goes and speaks, he does things and changes lives. That's impacting us. That's having you surrounded by the people you are. Now, I know you've heard the saying before, you hang out with 5 idiots, you'll be the 6th one. Hang out with 5, millionaires, you'll be the 6th one, whatever. That's very true. Another tip I will tell you is this, is keep your circle very small. When Jason and I were talking about the people that were supposed to be on my show or do things for myself or Jason or whatnot, and they just didn't. They think that the views and the likes and all that shit makes them popular.
Right.
Anybody can. I want to tell you right now, Jason has more money than most of those people, anyways, that I know that I'm thinking of. But I'll tell you this: anybody can spend $100,000 on marketing and become popular. You're not popular. You're paying for people to like you. That's what it is, right? It's creating the Misfit Nation. It's creating a group of people that actually want to impact lives, like the next Impact and stuff like that. And they're actually adding value to people's lives. But it's funny because our words are simple. They say no. I always ask people, why were you on the show? I asked Jason, I asked Evan Carmichael, I asked her, why were you on the show? And they give me a reason. Because I really want to know. Because the people that said no, fuck them. They're not the people that you should be around. Excuse my French, for this is just who I am. If you're listening, that's not normal. But I got to be honest with you, man. I don't allow those type of people in my life. I don't care how big they are, how many views they. Look, Tommy Vex was on the show. Some people hate him, some people love him, right? He had 400 million views on YouTube when he did the cover of Zombie. He's such a fucking cool dude, and it's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. I'm a pretty good judge of character. He's such a great dude. 400 million views. I think I had 177 followers on Gut Check at the time. But he says yes to me. It's like, it's like, that's a real dude. He doesn't give a
Right.
fuck. Like, dude, I don't give a shit if you have 100. Tom Ferry, you know, Jay says, like, these are people that they don't need to be on my show, but they said yes. So me, I watch people.
Yeah.
Simple answer, watch people. Watch what they do. Watch the moves they make, because you can make a massive differentiate between Jason Cisneros and a fucktard really quickly if you watch them. Just pay attention to who they are, and before you make that jump.
That is so true. My mom, God rest her, my birth mother, Lucille, in the first 5 minutes, we had been apart for the first 32 years. And no shit, in the first 5 minutes in her presence, she said, now, before we even sit down, let me just tell you one thing. I can tell because you look like your older brother, Charles, you're a silver-tongued fox, but it won't work on me because I don't watch mouths. I only watch your feet. It's what you do, not what you say, that's going to make a difference with me. And that's all it took. So exactly what you said. Jason, what do you feel about this circle of influence thing?
Well, I literally, before I came and jumped in this meeting, you know, I've got a friend of mine who's doing really, really well. And, you know, sort of, you know, it's like that 8-year, 10-year overnight success sort of scenario. And he was talking to me about some of the challenges that he's going through. And I said, look, you know, he goes, you know, and a lot of other things. I don't want to go into it because it's very personal. But at the end of the day, what he was struggling with was who he was and who he is now and who he is to the rest of the world. And I said, at the end of the day, brother, all of the accolades and all of the attention that you get are worthless. You know, I went through a scenario when I lost everything the first time. I was very successful early in my career, lost everything, ended up homeless with quarters in my pocket, calling everybody that I knew to say, can you send me $10 for a burrito? Not one of them came through. Living in houses that I helped them pay for, driving cars that I had personally bought for them, saying that they were too busy for me. And it was at that point in time when I started to realize and understand the value of an inner circle, right? Todd uses the word popularity. I use the word importance, right? So everybody thinks they're important because of the views that they're getting and the attention they're getting. You're only as important as you can be to the person who needs you the most in the moment that they need you, right?
Yep.
And that's true importance. That's true relationship. None of the attention and the accolades, because it can be gone in a moment with a false rumor, as we've seen, right? It can all be gone. And so what always remains is the bedrock of truth, integrity, and honesty. And that is what I have with you. It's what I have with Todd. If you have people in your life that are constantly making you feel great about yourself, that's awesome. But you also need to have people in your life that are willing to tell you the truth that hurts sometimes, because it's in that hurt that is inflicted by someone who loves you. And both of you know, I'd take a bullet for you. I would fly across the country in a minute. I have done that. We've done that for each other. And that is real, true relationship. And that's ultimately all we have. Is who we are to the people that are important to us. Now, adding value and getting views and all that kind of stuff, that's fantastic, right? But it's not the measure of the successful person who's important to other people. Because if you're spreading shit and that just makes people feel good or gives them an excuse for their weakness, it's absolutely doing damage. You've got to challenge people, right? I'm not the most popular person online. I never will be. Because the stuff that I say, it hits people where I need to be hit, which is in the responsibility button, right? This is my responsibility to stand up. We're living through a crazy time right now, right? And I have to stand up for what I think is right. But, you know, so I want to leave you guys with this because I got to jump. But I always want to come on here and just say how much I admire both of you. Not for who you are today and for how people see you as you are today, but because of who you were when you weren't somebody, when you were busting your ass trying to figure out who you were, when you were hitting those hard parts of yourself that demanded change in your own behaviors, in your own thought processes. That's what I admire about both of you. And as you made those modifications, you have become bigger people. You have become more servant-hearted. You have become those people that speak truth to other people. And I admire that. That's why I wanted to come on here today, because I'm proud beyond belief of both of you in the path that you guys have walked.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And as we are just about out of time, it's been wonderful. And I invited the ladies that were at that mastermind last week, and I know a couple of them are here because I just wanted them. I'm trying to get that. It's like this. I didn't shit in the room, but I stepped in it. Okay, so I wanted to change. We want to clean the shoes, and it doesn't mean just take them off and wait for it to dry. You got to get in there, get the hose, get a stick or whatever, dig it all out of the grooves, or just throw those shoes out and start over. It's all you used importance and this and relevance is the word I use. Relevance. Is this person relevant to what I need today and to help me to become more relevant? You guys, thank you so much. You guys, this is all about one thing. This is about what you do when no one else is watching. As long as you do that, you don't have to worry about what the rest of the world says. Truth will validate you in a way no person could ever do it. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. I want to thank all of you, Jason Cisneros, Todd Special, and I will put all of Todd's connectors on the screen in rotation as we get out of here. But you guys, listen up, share this out, think about it. Please reach out to both of these guys. You will not regret it. And get out today and do what we're supposed to do. Be the very best version of yourself. Do your best as the 4 agreements dictate, and leave the world better today than the way it was yesterday, and we're going to be okay. You guys, I'll meet you out front tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central, God willing, for our next installment of Bathrobe Moments. Be good and be good to each other. Bye-bye.